Hi, I'm Hannah Bailey from Burnsley Homes, and I'm talking to Molly today, our social media lead, about the topic of phishing. And that's phishing with a PH, not with an F. So, well, I suppose I'll start with what it is. People traditionally think of it as an email from a non-legitimate source, pretending to be legitimate, trying to get you to click on a link.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and those are the basics, but they've got a little bit more smart of the scammers who are doing these things.
They absolutely have, yeah.
Yeah, it's manageable, but you need to know about it. They can fake offers.
Yep.
You also, especially if you've got a tablet or a smartphone, you're definitely going to get this one. A pop-up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, have you had that where it's...
So many times.
Yeah.
So many times. That's what people don't understand. There are so many different forms other than emails.
Yeah.
Aren't there, nowadays?
That's it. And by the way, if that happens on your smartphone, just do the back function, because it'll stop it. Never click on it.
No.
And the aim of the phishing emails is to try and get either your financial information, such as your credit cards, your CVV number, personal information as well, names, address. My husband got an amazing phishing email. It had his full name, it had his former address, and was telling him he was going to be getting this coffee delivery.
Right.
It was an amazing one, and we were really worried about it, because where on earth had they got his former address from?
Absolutely, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, we did report it to Action Fraud, and it would have been so easy to click on the link in the email, but I cut and paste it and dropped it into Google, and we found it wasn't.
That's a really good method to use. If you always search the email address, the from address if it is an email, or just the basis of what the kind of pop-up advert or email is about into Google, and you can find forums where people discuss that they've had this from this scammer and this from this, so it is quite easy to identify if you're unsure now. But I mean, how do you go about spotting them?
As I say, it's got a little bit harder, but I think the key thing is to look for something that's trying to get an emotional reaction from you. And also, if an offer is too good to be true.
That is the best piece of advice ever. When you're reading it and you think, what? No, that can't be true.
And you've got to be so careful with the personal information you put online, because, you know I'm nuts about cats. So,
oh, yes. Who doesn't?
if someone was able to find that out, find out a little bit more information, such as an old address, my name, and then send me a reasonable-ish offer on discounted cat litter, clearly that's going to push my buttons.
Yeah, we're in a similar situation. Like I'll hold my hands up, I love to shop, and I often get things through from like eBay.
Yeah.
Things from like, you've ordered this River Island dress, and I think, have I? Yeah. But they do look really realistic, and they can kind of track your interests and lure you in that way, can't they? So you have to be really careful.
Yes, I think it's also if you're not expecting something as well. And the key thing is, because if you're having an emotional reaction of, hold on a second, I don't want that £30 for that dress to come out, or how do these people get this address? I want to click on that link and find out. Don't, because that's exactly what they're looking for you to do.
Think before you click.
And I think it's take a step away and don't, whatever you do, click on the email or the advert. If it's anything to do with your banking, there's the phone number for the bank on the back of your debit cards or your credit card. Call that number.
And it is rule of thumb that no bank will ever ask for your bank details.
Oh yeah, not at all.
Never.
No, nothing is going to ask for your full password.
That should be a red flag straight away.
Massively so. And also anything that's asking for the numbers on the back of your card is another thing.
Your PIN number.
Yeah, and it's anything that's trying to push a reaction off you, because sometimes the scams can sort of be half on the phone, half online. So you'll get a call saying there's been illicit activity on your account. They'll want you to sign into your online account.
Yeah.
A bank could never do that. They've got all of that information.
They have.
And no one at the bank knows your password. I mean, we're a bit more informed because we work with technology and we know that the way passwords are secured, there's no way anyone will know that. That's what they're trying to get it from you.
And how else? I mean, that's a really good point, but are there any like basic tips that you've got as well about how else you can keep safe?
Well, it is tricky because some of the old tips of, you know, if you've got a green padlock on your browser or it says HTTPS, if you click on a link in a dodgy email, they kind of fake registered it so it looks legitimate.
It does. It takes you to a legitimate web page, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it can spoof that. But if you went to it via your browser, it wouldn't be able to do that. And I think the real core thing is to err on the side of caution and contact, if you're really not sure, contact the company or the organisation by phone or by a legitimate website. And by that I mean preferably open it up in anonymous.
A new tab, yeah.
Well, I'd go further and say if you can
new
open
window
it up in secret mode or incognito. And then even on a different device if you're really worried, and searching in Google or another search engine. There's more than just Google. And just try and find the company that way.
Okay.
There's built-in security to a search engine. As long as the security is up to date on your browser, you've got a good chance.
Okay.
I think if you're really not sure and what we've just talked about, you're like, what are they talking about? Browser, incognito?
Yes.
Drop us a line on our Facebook page.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some really useful information on there.
Yeah, and if you're not sure, we can help point you in the right direction. But also, the best website to report this information to is Action Fraud.
Action Fraud, absolutely. And a lot of people don't know about that. I didn't know that until a few months ago.
Yeah.
Unbelievably. And I've considered myself to be really on top of the phishing stuff, so...
It's clever. Oh, and the other thing is don't open attachments from unexpected emails. And I have to go back to that point of if it's trying to get an emotional reaction, it's unexpected, be very cautious of it. Because the old advice used to say if it said dear customer or if it had bad spellings in it, and that still holds, but they can find your name.
It's so much harder to spot, aren't they, now? They've got really, really clever.
I mean, that one my husband got, we were both like,
what?
Because we thought...
Almost congratulating them for how good it is.
Well, there was a little bit of, wow, that's good.
Yeah.
We still don't know how they got the address. But we also know that address we used to live at then went private rented. So then got us thinking, is someone trying to commit identity fraud?
Yeah,
so it set off that whole chain of concern.
Oh, goodness.
We're able to find out that hadn't happened.
Yeah.
We're also going to be trying to put more information about online scams on our Facebook page. That's going to be the Device Doctors one and also the Burnsley Homes page.
And is there anything else that Device Doctors are doing to support it at all?
We're trying to build relationships with the police and with the local services who deal with these types of problems, so we can make sure our information's up to date, so we can signpost people in the right direction.
Brilliant.
But we're there. You can message us anytime on Facebook. You can come to our one-to-ones, come to our courses, and also as well, I hope you found the content useful on phishing. Do contact us if you've got a concern. But it's Action Fraud are the key people who've got the information on this. Banks and the big companies are a brilliant source of information. They will generally know about these scams. So if you're confident finding a legitimate website and checking with your bank, checking with the big companies, they keep lists of all of these dodgy things as well. I think the tricky thing is the pop-up if you are new to the internet with a mobile device, but press that arrow key back, do not click on it, and if you're not sure, come and see us at one of the one-to-ones. And thanks again. If you've got any suggestions for other topics, just get in touch and we'll try and make these short films as and when you tell us what your concerns are. And thank you very much.